Commission is called to order. We begin to acknowledge that the land on which we gather and that is currently known as the City of West Hollywood is the occupied, unceded, seized territory of the Gabrielino, Tongva, and Gabrielino Keys peoples. Who would like to, Anthony, would you like to lead the Pledge of Allegiance? Commissioner Woolen?
Please join me in standing and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Woolen. Okay, can we please get a roll call, Secretary?
Commissioner Berry?
Here.
Commissioner Cochran?
Here.
Commissioner Ng?
Here.
Commissioner Hang?
Here.
Commissioner Woolen?
Here.
Vice Chair Yusupov?
Here.
And Chair Eisenberg.
Here.
And we have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay, now we will approve the agenda. Are there any changes to tonight's agenda?
There are no changes.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Ng, seconded by Commissioner Hang.
Okay.
Commissioner Berry?
Confirmed.
Commissioner Cochran?
Yay.
Commissioner Ng?
Yes.
Commissioner Hang?
Aye.
Commissioner Woolen?
Aye.
Vice Chair Yusupov?
Aye.
And Chair Eisenberg.
Aye.
And the item is approved.
Thank you. Okay, are there any changes to the minutes of February 6, 2024?
There are no changes.
Okay, can we have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve. Second.
Thank you. Can we get a roll call, please, Secretary?
Motion by Commissioner Berry, seconded by Commissioner Cochran. Commissioner Berry?
Aye.
Commissioner Cochran?
Aye.
Commissioner Ng?
Yes.
Commissioner Hang?
Aye.
Commissioner Woolen?
Aye.
Vice Chair Yusupov?
Aye.
And Chair Eisenberg.
Aye.
And the item is approved.
Okay, now it's time for public comment. This time is set aside for members of the public to address the West Hollywood Business License Commission on items of general interest with the subject matter jurisdiction of the Commission. This is not the public comment period for any public hearings on the agenda. Public comment for public hearings will occur at the time of hearing. There will also be a general public comment later in the meeting for those who could not be heard at this time. Each speaker will have 3 minutes. If you did not register to speak via Zoom with city staff, you will not be admitted into Zoom to speak. The cutoff time is 2 p.m. the day of the commission meeting, as indicated on the posted agenda. Do we have any speakers at this time, Secretary?
There are no speakers in the building. We have one Zoom caller.
Okay.
Okay. We do not have any public comments at this time.
No, not online?
No.
Okay. Okay, so we'll move on. For the, let's see now. Okay, so we'll move on to the public hearing. Is that where we're at?
Yes.
Okay,
Item 7A.
Agenda item A, application by Barry's Boot Camp, LLC, to change location for the extended hour business license, extension 002929, from 1106 La Cienega Boulevard to 8383 Santa Monica Boulevard. I'll now open the public hearing on item 7A. Secretary, how was this noticed?
All notices are posted at the city's 3 legally required posting locations and sent to all occupants within a 500-foot radius of the business.
Okay. Do any commissioners have any disclosures to make? Commissioner Ng?
Yes, on Saturday, March 3rd, I paid a site visit to the location.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Is there a staff report?
Yes, good evening. Jessica Benitez and Vito Adamitis from the Neighborhood and Business Safety Division. The item before you is a change of address for Barry's Extended Hour Business License Number EXT-002929. It should be noted that the business has obtained a conditional use permit for the land use, tenant improvements, and parking requirements through the Planning Division. And they've obtained a conditional use permit back in 2021. And I'll provide some background regarding Barry's Boot Camp. On December 12 of 2006, Barry's Boot Camp obtained an extended hour business license to offer fitness classes at 5 a.m. from their original location at 1106 La Cienega Boulevard. In March of 2024, Barry's Boot Camp relocated to the ground floor level of the 3-story parking garage located at 8383 Santa Monica Boulevard between North Kings Road, as you can see in my laser, and Flores Street. The subject location is adjacent to other commercial to the east, to the west, and it is also neighbor to residential uses on the south side of the property, other side of the location, and to the north. This is the first residential, and this is the parking structure. Here you see the rooftop of the parking garage. In the same month, the business applied to amend its extended hour business license as they wish to continue to provide extended hours. The hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., Saturday and Sunday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. The business is currently operating at 5 a.m. with an interim extended hour license until the decision is made to approve or deny the change of address. In the next slide, it indicates the number of businesses with extended hours in the vicinity, and there are no businesses that operate with an extended hour business license within 1,000 of the establishment. Barry's Boot Camp is right here located, if you can see on my laser, and there are no within, this is the 1,000 radius of the establishment. However, the nearest business with an extended hour business license is the Chevron located on Holloway and La Cienega Boulevard, if you can see in the green balloon. Pursuant to the West Hollywood Municipal Code, Section 5.08.40, subsection C, a new license is not required, but the licensee should submit an application to amend its existing license to reflect the new business address. Also, the West Hollywood Municipal Code Section 5.52.04 requires that all extended hour business license applications be reviewed by and approved by the Business License Commission with the following findings. And there are 4 findings up on my screen, and I'll go ahead and just summarize. Number 1 is parking. The business is located within a parking structure that has 165 parking spaces. Its entrance is on Kings Road Boulevard, or Kings Road rather. Such parking requirements have been reviewed and approved by the Planning Division. Number 2, property is maintained. The commercial tenant space was remodeled this year and obtained their final approvals from Building and Safety and Fire Department in late February of 2024. Number 3, the applicant or licensing will discourage patrons from engaging in criminal activity. The business has implemented a security plan by installing cameras that are monitored by a security company, an alarm system, and all the employees are trained with the business emergency action plan and standard operating procedures for emergency. Also, the city staff contacted the Sheriff's Department for the calls for service between March of 2023 and March of 2024, and there was 1 call identified for false alarm. In addition, we checked our city database, and our database reflects 0 complaints at their current location. I should note that in the staff report, I did note 3 noise complaints, but that was for the previous location at 1106 La Cienega Boulevard. That's why I make a notation of a difference between this location and the previous. In addition, the applicant is requesting that the security requirement will be waived due to the nature of the business and time frame that they're open in the extended hour zone, and that's a total of 1 hour, 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. The code reads that the commission may waive or modify the security guard requirement if an alternative method is determined to be acceptable in meeting the intent of this subsection, or due to the nature or location of the business, the commission determines that the security guard requirement is not necessary. Number 4 is the applicant will discourage loitering in immediately adjacent to the business premises. This is also aligned with number 3. They have a security plan, but in addition to that, the business will be conditioned to adhere to the operative requirements. In addition, they will be conditioned to adhere to the noise ordinance. In addition, this particular location is on the ground floor, which has a buffer between the business and the first residential to the north side of the establishment. And conditional use permit number 21-1388 further conditions that all health, fitness, use, and activities shall be contained within the interior of the establishment. So with that, staff we'd review the information, the application that the applicant submitted to us with all the requirements. In addition to that, we review the calls for service from the Sheriff's Department, and with this, we recommend that the West Hollywood Business License Commission find that the applicant has satisfied the above findings and that the extended hour business license amendment be approved. Staff is requiring that the business must abide by the operating requirements, and that is that a security guard must be present during the extended hours or unless modified by the Business License Commission. And I just want to reiterate that this hours of operations is only between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. And with that, we conclude. Vito and I were available for any questions, and the applicant is present and also joining us via Zoom.
Okay, thank you, Secretary. Do any commissioners have any questions at this time? Let's start at one end and go to the other. Commissioner Vullin? No. Commissioner Hank?
No. Thank you, Madam Chair. I just had a question for staff. If we were just going off the letter of the ordinance itself, just at face value, it does require a security guard to be present.
So the code does require to be present, but the commission, based on the nature of such business, the commission may find that a security guard may not be required. I know this was done back in 2021 when a business restaurant came before the commission and such waiver was granted. Unfortunately, that business closed within 3 to 4 months of being in operation.
And then just out of curiosity, do you know what time that parking structure that the city owns opens and closes?
5 a.m. And
So
it opens at 5 a.m. and they have closing times at various times. I know it ranges from 2 o'clock in the morning to 1 p.m. depending on the date of the week.
I appreciate the clarification. Thank you.
Commissioner Yusupov?
What would be the new business hours if approved?
Their hours would be 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday it's 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. The only extended hours that they're requesting would be only Monday through Friday.
So basically, they will be opening 1 hour earlier.
Correct.
That's the only request, right?
Correct.
And how many parking spaces be in the behind structure available to them?
Yeah, the structure has 165 parking spaces.
So potentially all of them could be available.
Depending on at that 5 o'clock in the morning, I believe this is the only business just this business that is open in the area that will be using this parking structure.
What is the cost of the parking?
The cost of the parking, I believe right now the rates have changed, but it was $8, and the first hour is free, I believe, with validation.
Okay.
I do not have the full rates with
And
me.
this business will validate?
That I do not know. I will defer that to the applicant as far as how they're going to be compensating their patrons.
Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Eng?
I have questions of the applicant.
Okay. Commissioner Cockerham?
I'm good as well. Thank you.
Okay. No, what? Okay, I don't have any questions either. Okay, the applicant is here. If you'd like to make a presentation, you'll have 5 minutes.
Hi, thank you for having me. So my name's Matt. I am the Senior General Manager with Barry's. I manage the West Hollywood location. I've been employed there for coming up to 3 years now. So happy to talk about the operations and who we are and what we do and all that kind of stuff. So Barry's was actually founded in West Hollywood in 1998, and we've become an industry leader globally with 85 locations around the world. And we all started here. So we're super excited to open our new flagship location on Santa Monica. The response so far, it's been nearly a month since we opened the doors, and everyone is super happy. Business is booming, so it makes all the hard work definitely worth it. As it pertains to the operating hours and security and all that sort of stuff, it's definitely like a core value of Barry's. We take our people very seriously, that they're at the heart of our business. So We're obviously really committed to ensuring safety, not just for our clients, but for our staff as well. We do that through a number of methods. So all our staff have been put through de-escalation training. So we do that to primarily focus around, issues when a class is full and a client can't get in, how to just make sure that that situation doesn't escalate. We also have a manager on duty who is trained at a higher level, who is there from 5 a.m. till 9 p.m. all day, every day. Sometimes that is myself performing that role, but we also have a team who perform that function as well. Additionally, we have an alarm system with a panic button. We have a security camera system, which is extensive throughout. And since opening at this new location as well, we've installed I guess you would call it like a buzzer system on our front door so that the door can remain closed. And then from the front desk, which we can see, we can buzz clients in just as an added security measure for our staff. We also ensure that we always have a minimum of 2 staff on shift, so no one's ever there alone. So they're just some of the measures that we take, not just because it's obviously licensed, but because we care about our people and we want to make sure that everything is good. If I've missed anything or you have any questions, obviously, your validation question as well, we validate free for 90 minutes for all our clients, and our classes are 50 minutes long, so it gives them ample time to get in, do the class, shower, get changed, and then exit without paying.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's start with Commissioner Barry. Any questions for the applicant?
Hi, Matt. First, I gotta say, I love the name of the business. Couldn't have picked a better name.
Yep.
So I have a couple questions. First, when is the time of the first class if you're asking for it to be 5 a.m. and the garage opens at 5 a.m.? I'm just kind of wondering if you could speak to that.
Yeah, the first class starts at 5:15. Yep.
Okay, great. So they'll have time to get to the class and settled and all that?
Correct.
And you said there's a manager on duty. Is that person going to be at the desk, or are they also the person running the class?
No, so we have an instructor as well who takes that class, and then we have a manager on duty and a front desk person at that time. So that's for the check-in for the 5:15 class. And then we have additional staff who arrive at 5:30 to do facilities, maintain, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great, thank you.
of course.
Commissioner Cockrell?
Yes, thank you for coming. I have a question about the security guards. Do you guys have security guards now starting at 6?
We do not.
And if you were required to have a security guard, would you just have them from 5 to 6 as required by the city and then have them go home?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so, and as of right now, there aren't issues, or I should say, are there issues with homeless people or any sort of crime or anything outside?
There are not. Like I said, I've worked at the La Cienega studio and now at this studio with the company for nearly 3 years. And there's never been any instances like that have escalated or turned violent or become an issue in any way. So the staff are familiar with, people in that community and how to navigate those situations, and it's never been a problem.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. I think that's all. Thank you.
Commissioner Eng?
Hi.
Hi.
Congratulations. I know that the new location seems to be a much better fit than probably your old location. I've not been to Barry's, but I went to the old complex and parking was not fun there. And then I think Commissioner Cochran asked about security guard. I think one of the things that we've been told, and I think something in your application, is that generally you can't hire a guard for an hour. So that becomes the issue, is that you'd actually have to hire them for multiple hours. I understand the desire to waive the guard. I do understand that. But I'd like to ask what you feel the safety factors that you have in place mitigate the need for security.
For sure. So,
Well, you did kind of say it, but go ahead and say it again.
yeah, no, absolutely. So obviously I'm there every day as well. Sometimes early, sometimes late, mostly in the middle of the day. And there are certainly instances where we have people who wander into the business. So on a daily basis, our staff are faced with those challenges. However, the vast majority of the time they're in regular operating hours. So they're familiar with those situations. Like I said, we put them through de-escalation training. We have a number of staff there. Like for most of the day, we have around 7 staff who are present, plus an instructor. We're also very familiar with the security ambassadors who do great work in the city. So we've called on them a few times to help us navigate situations. So yeah, we're confident in dealing with those sorts of things when they arise.
Okay.
Done?
No, not, sorry, wonderful. I really appreciate that you do de-escalation training. I think something that often comes up is that people will say, oh, we train our people, but they don't actually go into what they do to train. So de-escalation is great. And the fact that your manager is trained at a higher level, I also appreciate. The city offers active shooter training. I'd like to suggest that you engage in that. The idea that you utilize block by block, I think is wonderful. I think that's a service that I always appreciate. Who's monitoring? Well, I guess you said, or in Jessica's report, it was said that a security company is monitoring your cameras. Is that true?
It is, yes.
Okay, so what happens if some incident is happening? Do they react? Do they notify you? How does that work?
They do, yeah. They send us, well, myself, a text message that has a 1-second clip of the movement or situation that they've detected, and then they call me. And I'm a local resident as well. I'm literally a 5-minute walk from the studio, so I can easily be there if it's needed, but they're fantastic and they're very responsive.
Okay, I think that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Yusbarov?
There's music with the class, right? And is it with open windows? Is it a problem for neighboring properties when there's loud music during the class?
So we've been operating for nearly a month now, and we haven't received any of those complaints. We have soundproofed the room, right? We did this construction pretty much from scratch. So the room is soundproof to the point where even if you're at the front desk and you close the door to the red room, which is directly behind it, 6 feet, you can't hear what's going on in there.
And so there are no windows that lead noise to the outside.
There aren't.
And adequate air conditioning.
Correct, yes.
Okay, thanks.
Of course.
Okay. Commissioner Rang?
Thank you, Mr. Hatton. I just had a question. So at your previous location, I understand that there was a security guard, right? Because when I would go there for class, there would be somebody directing traffic. So I guess I was just curious, why would you have a guard at the old location versus not having one here?
Yeah.
And I'm all for this application, by the way. I was just curious.
Of course. So my understanding is that was an arrangement done by the property management for that complex, of which we were one tenant. So that was arranged for and provided by that property management company, and we benefited from that.
Thank you.
Of course.
Okay. Commissioner Rowland?
Yeah, sure. So you mentioned that when any issues do come up, so I have a local business in the area a block away too, and for me, if anything happens, it's usually a homeless person walking into my office and trying to get them out. Is that similar to what you've experienced, or is there other issues that are going on? And with the buzzer door, do you expect that will help alleviate some of those problems that may have happened? We do, yeah. So it has exclusively been that issue that you addressed. I've not encountered anything else in my time there. But we kind of approached it as prevention is the best strategy here. So we wanted to take that preemptive step of installing that buzzer just to try to offset anything before it happens. But yeah, it's only been that issue. Great, thank you.
Of course.
Okay, I don't have any questions. I've been watching you. I drive by every single day, literally, as I go to Gelson's or whatever. And congratulations on opening on time.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak on this issue, in person or online?
We have one person online.
Okay.
Yes, we have Patricia Moreland. If you would like to address the commission, please unmute yourself.
You have 3 minutes.
And you have 3 minutes.
Yeah, he can sit down. Yeah, You can sit down if you want. Okay, is Patricia on the line?
I don't have anything to add. I was just attending the hearing in case there were questions that came up that Matt wasn't able to address.
Okay.
But he's done well.
Okay,
Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you. Okay, are there any more comments from the questions from the commissioners? Commissioner Eng?
Yes, you know, when I made the site visit, and this is for Commissioner or Vice Chair Yusupoff, it's incredibly loud inside, but you really couldn't hear anything from the street.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm going to close the public comment portion of this and bring this back to the commission for deliberation. You want to start, Commissioner Eng? We'll go this way and then this way.
Well, I think that I pretty much stated what my, I guess, concerns or issues would be. And that is that generally we hear conversations or talk about safety, and it will be like, oh, they have cameras. But I feel like oftentimes that's where it's left, and it's not really fleshed out. So I think having you start with saying that you train your staff on de-escalation and the manager is trained to a higher degree, I appreciate. Again, I'll encourage that you do the active shooter training and whatever other trainings that the city offers. I think that those are services and resources that are really valuable to the community, so I hope that you engage in them. And that beyond what's happening today, that safety continues to be an emphasis for you.
Okay, Commissioner Cochran?
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I just want to say I think you came really well prepared and had good answers for everything, and we really appreciate that because that doesn't always happen. I'll second what Commissioner Eng said, being very happy with all the things you have in place to prevent any security issues. So, and you guys didn't even ask for this, but I'm inclined to grant the license with the extension and waive the requirement for a security guard. I didn't even think about what you had said, but yeah, you probably can't even get someone to work for 1 hour. I wouldn't work for 1 hour. So that means you would have to hire someone to work for probably 4 a day, which is going to be 20 hours a week, plus the paid time off and paid sick leave that the city now requires. So that's a big burden to shoulder, and I'm totally happy and willing to waive that requirement.
Okay. Thank you. Commissioner Barry?
Yeah, I'm glad to see like a business before that's extending hours into the morning, especially a fitness one, because normally we have people extend into the night, and as a morning person, I think it's wonderful, especially in a city that doesn't seem to start until 8 a.m. So, no, I'm not going to echo what you guys said, but yeah, I think you have all the steps, all the measures in place, and I'm all for it.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Yusupoff?
Yeah, so my only concern was the noise, but that was answered, and then it seems like the business in the previous location had issues with the limited parking. So this location at this hour seems to solve that problem, so I'm all for it.
Thank you. Commissioner Hang?
Thank you, Chair Eisenberg. I just wanted to say that the space is beautiful. From what I've heard, I haven't visited yet. I am an ardent follower of Barry's Boot Camp. Matt Conrad was one of my favorite instructors, as well as Eric Ivan Wilson, who moved to New York since then. I just want to commend Barry's. During the pandemic, they were the first gym in the city to install a medical-grade HVAC system to screen out COVID-19 particles so that people who worked out there did not get sick. And they invested heavily in that process. I do believe in this business. I do not believe that they should require a security guard. An hour is kind of a waste. So I'm inclined to support staff's recommendation on this item. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Vullin?
Yeah, I also agree with Commissioner Hain and Commissioner Cochran that I don't think a security guard would be needed from 5 to 6 a.m., especially because they have the buzz-in door. And if the issue that they have had in the past has been homelessness, that's easily solved by that buzzer. And Yeah, I would definitely be inclined to approve this from 5 to 6. I just wanted to acknowledge that there was a public comment that came in writing that was concerned about parking requirements and taking up parking on Kings Road. And I think that has been addressed tonight by saying that parking is free for 90 minutes and it opens at 5 a.m. So parking on Kings Road for that 5 to 6 hours should not affect anyone. Even if someone parked, I think, on Kings from 5 to 6 shouldn't.
Parking on
still
Kings Road
affect
actually isn't allowed anyway, it's permitted.
It's yeah.
So if they do, they're gonna get a ticket.
Good point. So, yeah, that's, thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner Vullin. I have to say that I agree with my colleagues that I don't think a security guard is needed for the 4-hour shift minimum that you would probably have to hire someone for at that hour. I think Barry's has done a very good job of contemplating all of the potential risks and, for the business. It sounds like they've done a very good job. They've been in business for a while. There haven't been any complaints. So I'm also inclined to approve this item. Do we have a motion?
Sure.
Commissioner Barry?
I'll make a motion to grant the location change for their extended hours while also waiving the requirement for a security guard.
Second.
Okay. Secretary, we have a roll call.
Commissioner Barry?
Aye.
Commissioner Cochran?
Aye.
Commissioner Ng?
Aye.
Commissioner Hang?
Aye.
Commissioner Vullin?
Aye.
Vice Chair Yusupov?
Aye.
And Chair Eisenberg.
Aye.
And the item is approved with the removal of the need for a security guard.
Thank you, and we wish you much success with your business.
Before we, I'm sorry, point of order, I'd like to just get clarification. Due to the modification, then the resolution will reflect new language to say, if that's okay, to say that due to the nature and location of the business, the commission determines that the security guard requirement is not necessary or that is waived.
It's waived.
That is waived. Thank you. So that would be condition 3 that is going to be part of the resolution.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Agenda item, thank you. Agenda item number 8, unfinished business. We have none. Secretary? Okay, any new business? We have none?
No.
Okay, any items from staff?
Good evening, Madam Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, and members of the Business License Commission. Good evening. Just a few items for you from staff. The city is getting prepared for this year's Pride event, which will be May 31st, June 1st, and June 2nd. So it's fast approaching. We are going to be processing special event permits for various activities associated with this event. The deadline for people to submit their special event permit application to our office will be May 10th. And for vendors to submit their license applications will be May 17th. So May 10th and May 17th are the 2 deadlines. Special event permits, May 10th, vendor applications, May 17th. We also have bystander intervention training sessions. This will be held on April 10th at 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. So emails were sent out. If anybody's interested in participating in the training, you can contact our office, 323-848-6537. Is it 6537 or 6437? 6437? I knew I was close. Also, at the May 7th, our next Business License Commission meeting, we will bring an item to the commission for the participation of the commission at this year's Pride event. So we're working with the city clerk's office to bring that item for you. And I believe, Jessica, it's two commissioner volunteers and 2 alternates. And there will be a process for that. So we'll bring that item for writing on the float. I think there's a float as part of the parade and festivities for this year's Pride event. So it'll be a big event. And we'll have more information related to the event and how the commissioners can participate. That is pretty much concludes my comments, although I just wanted to thank Commissioner Cochran for the opportunity to meet your grandparents who are here tonight, and a very special mention that they are celebrating today their 55th wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
So congratulations on that, and I thought that would be an important mention tonight.
Thank you.
That concludes comments from staff.
Manager Adamitis, is this your first
Commissioner,
pride?
Jessica, do you have comments?
Yes, I just also like to add for those that are interested regarding WeHo Pride, the city has members of the public and the commissioners can go to wehopride.org to find more information regarding street closures and all the festivities. Thank you.
Okay, just wait. Okay. Do we have any speakers for public comment at this time?
There are no speakers at this time.
Okay. Items for the commissioners, we'll start this time with Commissioner Yusperov and go that direction and then pick up here. Nothing? Commissioner Hang?
Thank you, Chair. Manager Adamitis, last year everybody was allowed on floats. Is that not the case this year, or?
We will have more information for you at the May 7th meeting on that item. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Bullen?
Happy anniversary again from all of us. Congratulations. That's huge, 55 years. That's all.
Okay. Commissioner Eng? Your turn.
Yeah. Okay, so first I'd actually like to ask Manager Adamitis about the cannabis extensions. I don't know what next steps are. I think it might be going before council again, but I'm wondering if you can give us sort of any information about that or update?
So the council took action in January, and there's basically, as I understand, Jessica, there's a hold on extensions of application of any licenses until July.
That is correct. All the pause for cannabis variance requests are until July 1st. I know that the team is working on an item to take before the city council. At this point, we don't have a date on when this is coming up, but I know that the team is meeting with the stakeholders, and then based on that, then there will be an item before the city council.
Correct.
So I've got one more thing. And then WeHo Times actually did a story about our sheriff's department now allowing online reporting. It's lasd.org/sorts, S like Sam, O like open, R like Robert, T like Tom, and S like Sam, sorts, correct? Are you familiar? I'm sorry, Manager Adamitis? No?
I'm not.
Okay, so, you know, this I believe, again,
But I believe there was a recent comment about the online reporting opportunity for people to file reports online.
Yes, which I think will be enormously helpful. Anyone that's gone to make any reports can pretty much verify that it's not a quick process generally when you go in there. So I think that that's wonderful that they're allowing that. I do believe that it's only certain crimes that can be reported online, but I think that's very helpful, and I hope the community takes advantage of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Cochran?
Thank you. I would also like to say welcome and congratulations to Grandma and Grandpa on your 55th wedding anniversary, and thank you to everyone for showing them how great the city is and how amazing our businesses are. Thank you to city staff, as always, for welcoming them, and also and all of your help. And also congratulations to you, Chair, on your cookies and your business coming out. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Commissioner Barry? Nothing?
Nothing at this time.
Okay, I don't have anything either. Okay, I think we are ready to adjourn. The West Hollywood Business License Commission will adjourn to its next adjourned meeting, which will be Tuesday, May 7th, 2024 at 6 p.m. at the West Hollywood Public Meeting Room, Council Chambers, 625 North San Vicente Boulevard, West Hollywood. And with that, we'll conclude the meeting. Thank you.